Hello, friends. This is Dr. Celucien Joseph, Dr. Lou. Many of you know me uh, as Dr. Lou by nickname. As you know, I'm the host for the Center for Faith, Reason, and Dialogue. And for those of you who are new to the Center for Faith, Reason, and Dialogue, let me briefly tell you about our mission and our philosophy and objectives. So, the mission of the Center for Faith and Reason and Dialogue, CFRD, is to conduct interdisciplinary research on the intersection of religion, culture, and the world of ideas, and to equip leaders and lay people by providing them with adequate tools and resources to engage in interreligious conversations toward peace, building, and friendship in society. And our philosophy uh, includes the following. So we are interested in the role of religion in public life and the place of human reason in guiding uh, people's decisions, convictions, and commitments in life experiences. The Center for Faith, Reason, and Dialogue is also committed to healthy civic discourse, constructive public engagement, and interreligious dialogue and education. We believe that the wisdom of each religious system or tradition may contribute to maximizing the democratic process and human rights, foster greater tolerance and inclusion in society, and bring people together to achieve the common good and to create a better world towards human flourishing. Again, this is Dr. Lou, your host. Today, it's such a pleasure to have with me an amazing scholar, an amazing sociologist, also a friend. Today, we're going to get in conversation, okay? Not so much an interview, it's a conversation with Dr. Rolande D. Dathis. Dr. Dathis, it's such a pleasure to have you on the Center for Faith, Reason, and Faith as a guest.
It is also a pleasure to be with you. And at the mission of the center, which is also aligned with what I believe. And I am very privileged to be here with you.
Very good. So let me inform our audience the topic you and I will be discussing today. You are an expert on the subject matter. You have written prolifically on the subject matter. You have taught this topic for many years. So the topic today is religion and social values. What values does religion bring to society? So this is the topic we're going to have a conversation about. But before that, let me read a bio, your bio, so our audience could be informed about who you are and then your journey. Okay, so you're currently serving as the chair of behavioral sciences at Fisk University. Prior to that, you were an associate professor of sociology and the department coordinator at Texas College. That's his teaching career spent 3 decades along with her legal enrolls on behalf of immigrants of color, serving as cabinet member, Ministry of Justice and Public Safety in Haiti. Her work in international law, speaking engagements, workshop presentations, research grants, and awards. As director for the Haitian Refugee Center in Miami, she received the Carter Menel Human Rights Awards given by President Jimmy Carter on CNN. Her prior teaching experiences include department chair of sociology and psychology at Wiley College, Houston Community College, Houston, she has taught also introduction to gender and society at Texas A&M College Station, Université Lumière School of Medicine, Port-au-Prince, and lecture on introduction to law, lecture tours on integration and acculturation, several high schools. You have a long, very long, beautiful career, and you have a long history of professional work internationally in the US. And here in the US, you are a legal consultant on international business and transactions, aviation law, and international law. Many people, not only you have a PhD, you have a PhD uh, in sociology, but you also have a master's of law with emphasis in international law and business from Stetson University College of Law. And you also at this State University of Haiti, you also study law. So this is in your background. Just you do have a long CV, and you let me say this. I guess the reader should know you're also a member of the American Bar Association, the American Sociological Association, Southwestern Social Science Association, Southern Sociological Society, and the Haitian Studies Association. You are relentless in your dedication to applied sociology, human rights, social justice, and the plight of immigrants in the United States. So, once again, uh, a great doctor. It's a pleasure to have you. We're going to have, you and I were talking before this interview. We were talking about our common interests uh, in the topic of religion, the intersection of religion and culture and identity, how religion not only shapes us as members of the society, and how religion is one of the most powerful forces in society. And you, about 2 years ago, you've contributed almost 2 years now a brilliant chapter in this book, Vodou and Christianity and Interreligious Dialogue, which I had the pleasure to serve as the chief editor. So you wrote a major chapter on the significance of religion on cultural identity of Haitians. And the subtitle is Politics, Race, and Self-Esteem. This chapter was well received in the book. Okay, for those who are interested in the subject matter, interreligious. Well, I'm doing a little promotion too. Okay, about our own book. So this is it. Uh, Vodou and Christianity in Interreligious Dialogue. Okay, so uh, okay, so let's begin. Why don't we begin with, is there anything you would like to add to your bio? Maybe something new that I do not know, but you want the viewers or people in the audience to know about
Well, I'm still acting in the Haitian community.
you. Okay.
Probably you didn't say that, but the funny thing is that you have said, I went to school in the US first and moved back to Haiti and went back to school in Haiti. I went back to school in Haiti and come back to the United States and went to school. So the importance of education for me, it's going to be in the mid of the discussion that we're going to have now, because education help us understand how we can navigate and how we can
Mm-hmm.
better following the steps of the institution that we are dealing with every day, as religion is one of the institutions.
Exactly. Yeah, this is powerful. No, I did not know yeah, about this aspect of your journey. Yeah, but yes, Yes, our guest is from Haiti. I know this is the Center for Faith, Reason, and Dialogue. We not only we conduct interviews, and the majority of our interviews are conducted, our past interviews, I should say, are conducted in the English language. We also have some interviews in Creole. But you were born in Haiti and you grew up in Haiti, just like me, right? Well, you came to the US when you were 12 years old, if I remember
No,
correctly.
I was at 12. I had already finished schools in Haiti,
Oh, okay.
and when I get here, I was 19. I was
19 years old, 19 years old. Okay, 19 years
but
old.
funny enough, I had
Yeah.
moved and stayed in Haiti for 10 years
Oh,
because
you stayed. Oh, so when you went back to Haiti, you stayed in
yeah,
Haiti for.
I married to an agricultural engineer who
Mhm.
came from Haiti to do research in the US. And I found this man and loved with the man and went back to Haiti. And that was the most beautiful time in my life.
Ah, okay.
And
This is
we get back,
wonderful.
yes, and we come back because he was sick, he had a cancer, so we had to come back. And this is how it goes.
Okay,
But
very good. It's good to know. It's good to know. Okay. So, now why don't we begin by establishing the relationship between religion and moral and ethical values in society? So, I guess we can begin this way. How does religion shape the moral and ethical values of a society?
well, religion significantly influences a society's moral and ethical values by providing a framework for understanding right and wrong. Many faiths offer absolute standards derived from sacred texts like the Bible, which
Yes.
believers discern ethical behavior. Furthermore, religious teachings often include commandments that inform societal norms, fostering unity through sacred texts, shared beliefs and values. So these shared values are reinforced by pressure within communities, encouraging conformity to ethical standards. Well, let's say this. Religious figures such as saints and prophets serve as moral exemplars, while leaders can shape followers' moral decisions through their teaching and public advocacy.
So this is very good. So when we think about religion, okay, in general, whether we're talking about Christianity, Hinduism, Vodou, Buddhism, or any other religious system, they do have a place in society. As you mentioned, they provide guidance, right? Ethical guidance,
Moral
uh,
guidance,
moral guidance, okay? Uh,
social
yeah,
cohesion, and psychological well-being,
yes.
and social change, which I talk about it a lot.
So in that sense, all religion, okay, all religion, not only collectively, but individually contributes, right? Contributes to that value, the moral value in society. So in other
But
words, mhm,
what we have to understand, religion established moral foundations. So it plays a key role in promoting social justice and advocacy. So many faiths advocate for compassion and care for marginalized groups, influencing social values on equity and human rights. So when we're talking about religions, we're going to look at to see the religious rituals and storytelling convey ethical lessons that shape individual moral understanding.
but okay, so religion is one of the foundations because some people would argue it's not only religion that serves as a foundation for our moral compass or ethical system, but also if we turn to our democratic liberalism. okay? And in the West, those values, liberal values, could also provide a strong foundation to guide us to not only to guide our moral decisions, not only to shape our ethical system, but also our political values in general. Would you
Yeah,
agree with that statement?
we can say that religions have influenced
Mhm.
leaders in politics, right? And as well as the role of oppression, right? Slavery. And we go back and seeing the African religion that existed in the past. So when those people were brought to the New World, the religion had no values to the one of them here. And that's why we said we cannot go outside of the box and saying religion brings moral values. Religion does bring moral values and immoral values as well. So that's why we have to look at religion as an institution
Okay, so religion is an
where values
institution.
are made. Yes, religion, we have to look at it as an institution where values are made for people to follow.
So religion, for example, like marriage, right, is one of the institutions. Okay, so now I want us to talk about you mentioned the word influence, that the teachings of religion, different religious systems, not only they have a tremendous influence on societal and cultural norms and values, right? But they also influence marriage, gender roles, and sexuality. Can we discuss how religious teaching, okay, might exercise and influence? Let's begin. We have three, okay? Let's begin with marriage. Okay, after marriage, let's look at gender
No,
roles and then sexuality.
okay. So religious teaching shapes societal norms and values. That's what we just said, and we all agreed on that. So let's look at marriage. Many traditions view marriage as sacred, emphasizing commitment and family unity. Let's, for instance, in Christianity, marriage is often regarded as a covenant between partners and God, promoting ideas of fidelity. But we cannot also forget that marriage is also a contract where we also have to respect the legal values that were also established by people in society, and religion as an institution of the society, people have to follow those values. So by understanding this perspective, we can deepen our discussion about the meaning of marriage across various cultures. So similarly, religious teaching frequently defines specific roles for men and women, often positioning men as providers and leaders and women as nurturers. So when we're trying to explain those roles, it encourages dialogue about gender dynamics and allows traditions and modern interpretation to coexistence. So even if you want to separate gender roles from marriage, it's impossible. Because in the religious view, the roles are defined.
Give us some examples, doctor, in terms of gender roles, how religion define the roles and functions of the husband and the wife and a marital covenant. You use the word covenant. Can you give us some of those examples? For example, roles that are attributed to women inside the
Women
marital
inside the
union.
church,
Yeah.
the women in church could not preach.
Okay.
Now religion has evolved, the society is not the same, but we still have the same thing going in different religions where women have no power and no say in anything that related to the
Mhm,
sacred position in the church.
mhm, mhm,
So we still do not have women priests in the Catholic Church, Catholic women churches.
mhm,
Baptist now is trying to evolve because we're talking about Christianity. And when it comes to Christianity, we're gonna we have to look at Catholicisms the same way that we have to look at Protestantisms.
mhm,
And but we also, when we go in outside of those religions, we go to Hinduisms, you're gonna see all those differences exist as well.
mhm. So would you say uh, there's a way the teaching of religion in general undermine the dignity of women? Or would you say,
I would not use the word undermine the dignity of women. I would say that the evolvement of religion
okay,
has changed the dynamics power of
mhm,
sexuality.
mhm, mhm,
Because sex, it's men and women.
mhm,
It's going to be male and female.
mhm,
And gender will be women and men, and is how you see in the world, right?
mhm.
That's what we're talking about. When it comes to men in the church, there are different roles, and the roles of women are very different from the roles of men. But at the same time, if a man wants to do a role of a woman, no one can stop that man from doing it.
Now, in the past, let's say less than 10 years, we have seen a tremendous shift. Some people, some religious scholars or people, anthropologists, sociologists who study human cultures and human societies and the interaction between uh, uh, men and women have said that there, especially in the West, right, in the Western world, there's a shift uh, that that the shift has changed the way religion has defined marriage, for example, and gender and sexuality. For example, what I have in mind here, traditionally, right?
Same sex.
Yeah, traditionally in religious texts, whether we're talking about uh, Buddhism, Christianity,
Most,
Hinduism, or Islam, or even in African traditional religion, marriage has always perceived or defined as the union between a male and a female. But lately, right, more recently, I should say, we see some religious traditions have also endorsed uh, same-sex marriage. What are your thoughts about this? Since we're talking about,
this
you
is a
use the
very,
word evolve. Religious teaching have also evolved.
yeah. So this is a very confusion
Mhm,
era. When I said confusion era, you see that people are getting killed in Africa for same-sex marriage. And I'm pretty sure in Haiti that it's going to be very hard for us to accept that because traditions, our
mhm,
cultural tradition does not have same-sex marriage. We
mhm,
know marriage is a man and a woman.
mhm,
However, when it comes, and if we go back, and I'm looking at the civil rights movement where people are saying their privileges have been compromised,
mhm,
and people who live together with the same sex wanted to have an union where people need to respect each other. The religious phase of it also come to it. So now we also have to look at the text that people thought to be the sacred
mhm,
monument
mhm,
for people to talk about marriage.
mhm.
None of those texts said same-sex marriage. right? But did also the define men and women in different ways also. I'm not too sure about that because when we were looking at the French language, right, they said masculin emporte sur le féminin. So when they are referring to human being, they're referring to men. So excluding the right of women in that sex. So I'm not advocating for same-sex marriage, neither not same-sex marriage. Anyone that is in the religious view, looking at the Bible, I'm talking about the Bible because the Quran is very clear about men and women roles.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in the Bible that we have that role is being defined that women do not exist. So that also can bring confusion how people translate or interpret it, marriage as being a man or a woman. Even though in the Bible we have that part when Jesus said that men you have to respect, men you have to love your wife, and your wife you have to love your men you have to respect, wife you have to respect your man, and men you have to love your wife. So all those interpretations can change in the dynamics of the society that we are living.
Okay, so in other words, if I understand you correctly, not only religious teaching influence societal and cultural norms and values, but societal norms and values in turn influence religious teaching.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not me, not let me say influence religious teaching. Let me see social,
Or
so
interpretation.
yes. So because influencing is now we're telling that the norm and the values are shaping the churches. No.
You don't think so? You don't think
There
trends
had
in
been some adjustment.
society
I think that
influence?
I think there had been some adjustment
Mm-hmm.
because we also see the commercial part of the religion that we didn't see in the past,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we also see in we hear in different languages that many things that, because don't forget Jesus Christ, if we're talking about Christianity, Jesus Christ talks about love. And the love that Jesus Christ is talking about, people can try to translate it as the one.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that love can be part of your cultural values.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Maybe we come back to this country. This is an interesting topic. We can spend the entire hour, okay, on it. So okay, so now let me do a quick summary for our reader. So you emphasize how the teachings of religion might influence the way we behave and things that we do, our traditions, our habits, or even to some extent what we enjoy doing and how we spend our time with friends, with families, okay? And you also mentioned how some religious traditions have defined the roles and functions between a husband and a wife. And you also mentioned that it is people's interpretation, reinterpretation, or re readjustment of those teachings. It's
Yes.
not vice versa. It's not
Yeah.
a mutual influence. Okay.
So
So I just
the experience of religious is teaching is both complex
mhm,
and significant. So
okay.
we talk about as society evolves,
Mhm,
revisiting this teaching can lead to new interpretations
okay.
and also promote inclusive and constructive dialogue. That's what we're doing right now, right?
Yes.
And we know that politics drives to the way that religions works.
Of course. So let's look at a society. Let's give an example. Let's look at the Haitian society, which you and I know very well. It's not only we grew up in that society, okay, both of us, we know the culture very well. We know the dynamics, for example, between the two um, actual dominant religious traditions in Haiti, Vodou and Christianity. Now, I would like you to discuss how have these two dominant religious traditions, Vodou and Christianity, of course, in the case of Haiti, Christianity is divided in two branches, Protestantism and Catholicism, okay? And how have these two dominant religious faiths influenced cultural norms and values in the Haitian society?
I wrote about this.
Okay,
Vodou emphasizes community cohesion,
okay.
respect for ancestors, and the
Mm-hmm,
importance of behavior.
mm-hmm,
But it also helped to promote values like compassion, generosity, and social responsibility.
mm-hmm,
But remember that Vodou is also evaluating in a context of colonization,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
So any culture that comes to a place where power is not controlled by those that are practicing the religion,
mm-hmm,
you're going to have sense of limitation, right?
mm-hmm,
So, which mean the ethical norms often stem from the teaching of spirits
mm-hmm,
and the importance of maintaining harmony within the community.
mm-hmm,
So, when we're looking at Christianity, we also have to look Christianity in the context that Christianity comes to reading.
mm-hmm,
First, the context that the Black Code laws that tells you that you have to be a Christian in order for you even to have a little bit of freedom. So, and Christianity also brings such as, I'm giving you that freedom based on love, and I'm not too sure if that love, and I am a Christian, by the way. Okay? So, and Christianity also taught us about forgiveness, charity, and the importance of personal salvation. I always said to my students when I'm talking about Weber, that Weber, Christian ethics, tells you that you have to work hard doing all the stuff so you can go to heaven. And I'm not too sure that Vodou does not talk about heaven, but Vodou is also showing you the context that you are living here is hell
mm-hmm,
because of our past. And that past ties with slavery, oppression.
mm-hmm,
But those in Christianity, and beside that, let me go back and say that too. When we're talking about Christianity, we have to make a very big difference between the Christianity that Jesus Christ has left us to follow and the Christianity that use Jesus Christ to enslave people. In case of Haiti, you had both. I cannot say that we didn't have people that comes and bring love to us. No, I cannot say that. Because we both went to Catholic schools. And we both were taught to be loved. And we also both learned about slavery, what was slavery was about. So the cohesion that we're talking about, it's contextual.
mm-hmm,
Because the teaching of Jesus Christ, if we're looking at it in the context, not the teaching of Jesus Christ that the missionaries brought to us, that showing us different pathways and live in a different ways. Again, I have to say different type of missionaries. Not all of them are the same.
Yes.
So the moral and the ethical framework that exists in both religions bring confusions.
So okay. I want you to clarify this. Are you saying that uh you said correct me please, the moral framework of both religions, okay, creates a confusion in the Haitian society. Is that what you said?
No, I would not say that the moral framework of the religions, the both religion, I said religion in general,
Okay.
religion in general, because the evolution of Haiti, because remember that I said that we have good people who came to Haiti.
But would you say, okay, do you see Christianity and Vodou as practice, as they are practiced in Haiti? Are they compatible in terms of, how they have shaped our cultural traditions, our values as a nation? Or 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 do they create more disharmony or disunity in the Haitian society? Are they?
I always see a third person, a third invisible person trying to create disharmony in Haiti in every single aspect of life.
Mhm,
Right? So we know that the Vodou religion has symbols that been used in the both Catholics and Protestantisms.
mhm,
But in both religion, Vodou cannot be said. You cannot use the word Vodou, as they are using some practices of Vodou in their religions, right? And people will call that syncretisms, and I would not call it syncretism. I would say because that Vodou has a cultural value, brings cultural value in the Haitian society that no one can take away.
but
That no one,
isn't it the same for Christianity?
it is the same. Well, Christianity, yes, Christianity is something that you learn to become.
Isn't it the same hold on. So you're saying, okay, so you're saying Vodou, it seems to me you're taking an essentialist position here. So Vodou is intrinsic
No. What I'm
to the
trying to
Haitian.
say, that's for you not to forget that the traditional practices,
Okay.
including music, dance, and art, are deeply rooted in Vodou. And
Mhm,
those practices reflect the values and beliefs of the religion, celebrating in all churches in
mhm.
Haiti.
But people would say the same. Okay, some people would make the same. Some critics would make the same uh, statement. They would say there's also Christian art. There's also Christian music, which are also embedded in the Haitian society. It's not just Vodou art or Haitian music that have, or some Haitian music like genre or category like music racine that has a profound foundation in the Vodou religion. But some people would say the same thing because the Haitian people are not a monolithic group.
No, I
So we,
agree with you on that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
Vodou and Christianity often coexist and
Mhm,
influence each other.
mhm,
We have that. But
mhm,
you also have to see the unique blend that exists in there. And
mhm,
that unique blend comes to the fact when the Catholics first arrive in Haiti, they have to use the Vodou names.
mhm,
That's coexistence.
mhm.
The names of the saints, they have them in the Vodou. in different names, but they are the same people.
Mhm.
Saint Jacques Major.
Mhm.
And I don't know those names, so I cannot go and tell you how those names are.
Mhm.
But and we've seen that many ancients use the same elements, incorporate elements from both religions,
Mhm.
and which reflects our cultural historical context, right?
Yeah, but you seem to, at the beginning, you seem to emphasize how both traditions have contributed to the idea of living together, okay? Uh, in the Laco system, right? Also tolerance, love. So
Yes.
this is where we can say, we
And
can affirm,
that's what your book is about.
yeah, this is where we can say, okay, now both religious traditions or systems have brought something distinctive to the
Mhm.
Haitian society. Or we can also say, from that perspective, they complement each other. But however, as you know, in the history of Vodou and Christianity in Haiti, there has been, I would say, uh, not only a conflict, a tension between those two traditions or practices, but it seems to me there's a problem we've been trying to resolve for since the birth of this nation, since the genesis of the Republic of Haiti, the the
Mhm.
the conflict within. Yes, on the one hand, those two systems have added some values, some virtues, okay, to us. But there's a problem. What would you say is the source of the conflict between voodoo practitioners or voodooism and Christians?
Well, there has been clash with Christian teaching with Vodou practices because the Christian tried to convert the Vodou practitioners.
Mhm.
And you also know that there were laws
Mhm.
that stated that people could not practice the Vodou openly. The US occupation brought a lot of conflict during that time. The movement of Rejeté, you know of that movement, the Rejeté movement,
Yeah,
where Vodou,
can you, yeah, explain that to our audience. Yes.
the Vodou Rejeté, where the practitioners of Vodou went to jail and they took the tambour, the drums and all the things that they had, all the possessions that you use in the Vodou rituals were taken away from those people.
Mhm.
And mostly it was not really for to impose. They use the religion, they impose Christianity to do that. But we also know that many of the things that they were doing is for them to cut the trees and all those trees to go for chimney, to have chimney and furnitures and many things in the US, in Europe, and all those things bring tensions between Vaudouism and Christianity. Because the effect, when you want to convert someone into your practice, you don't take what the person has. You need to tell the person what is wrong with what you have and why
Mhm.
I want you to be my group. So it was never the case. Instead, there had been some practices that are evolved that intervene, that really not intervene, that influence the practices of Vaudouism,
Mhm.
that most people see Vodou as being evil. Most
I
people
think,
are seeing.
why is that? Could that be one of the sources of the conflict, the history of conflict and tension between those two traditions in Haiti?
If you want to see it in the line of tradition, I would not mind discussing that with you, but let me tell you,
Hmm.
because of colonization.
Hmm.
It is widespread because of colonization. Remember, the one in power wants to stay in power. And all the institutions that are in place in that territory needs to go to be seen less, need to be seen less. And that's what was going on. It's not because that I want to impose my religion and all this stuff. Religion has that purpose. It has that purpose. The purpose of either strengthen your beliefs or decrease your self-esteem.
Hmm. Hmm. Very good. I uh, I want us to talk a little bit, but from a different perspective, right? Uh, about the from a different perspective. We come back to Vodou and Christianity later in our conversation. But you are trained as a lawyer, and one of your specialties is human rights, okay, issues of human rights and advocacy for immigrants, freedom of, for immigrants in the United States, for example, and international. So we're talking about the question of migration too, whenever we use the word immigrant. So that's what comes in mind as well. But I want us to look at this issue, the issue of social justice, as you mentioned, human rights and equality in the context of religion. How does religion in general impact our individual or collective attitude towards social justice? First, human rights, and third, equality.
Social justice.
Mhm.
We're going to go back
Mhm.
to religion tensions.
Mhm.
The political of manipulation.
Mhm.
So use religion for control.
Mhm.
So political leaders have sometimes exploited religious differences to consolidate power
Mhm.
using Christianity to promote national identity and not using Christianity. We can see the problem with the Islamics, right? So to promote national identity while marginalizing the other groups. And we also see conflict during revolution, not in Haiti only, conflict during wars.
Mhm.
So religion are rallying point against colonial powers or against and rallying point for the colonial powers.
Mhm.
It's against and for. And that also can create friction between authorities.
Mhm.
So when we're looking at religious leaders, they have the not only because they are charismatic leaders that brings a lot of people beyond them,
Mhm.
but they also control the mind of those people that are following them,
Mhm. Mhm.
which means most political leaders take position within a special religion to marginalize the people.
Mhm.
I don't know if I answer your question right.
Yeah, but I'm more interested. and how religion in general contributes in a positive way, okay, our practice or our efforts towards social justice, human rights, and equality.
Oh, okay, churches serve as community centers,
Mhm.
providing social support and fostering a sense of belonging
Yes.
in general.
Mhm.
And I can give you the examples in Miami. The When the Haitian refugees were coming, we had the support of the Black American churches.
Mhm.
We have the support of the Jews. We have the support of many religions, many religious leaders. And as a matter of fact, the Black American churches were part of the constructing the Haitian Refugee Center, the construction of the Haitian Refugee Center
In Miami.
in Miami, yes.
So those were
Only in Miami, it was also in New York.
okay.
It was also the Catholic churches, because I worked for Catholic churches before I went to Miami.
Okay.
I worked for Catholic charities. And the always the we have church world services, we have Catholic charities, all those are religious organizations, and those are people who come together and fight for the right of the people most of the time.
I think the Catholic tradition has a strong tradition, right?
Mhm.
And supporting the rights of immigrants and the poor. In fact, what I was talking about this, you know what came to my mind when we read the Bible. This tradition is also exists in Islam, also in Judaism. Uh, God in the Bible presents himself, if we want to use the I guess the masculine gender, as the God of justice, the God of the poor. In fact, there's a scriptural passage, I don't remember the text exactly, where God says, I love justice. I'm paraphrasing, I commend you to practice justice. In fact, in several passages, Christians, Muslims, Jews are commended to, for example, to give water to the thirsty, to give food to the hungry, to clothe the naked, to visit those who are hospitalized, to visit those who are in prison.
Those were
So
there.
there are prescriptions in scripture that are associated with the character of God. When talking about, and there are texts in the Hebrew Bible that deal specifically with the issue of human rights and with in reference to to the poor, oppressed people, marginalized people. Okay. And there's a sense that this is a big discourse
I
in the
love what you just
Bible.
said. I
Yeah,
love what you said. God says, I am the God of justice.
yeah.
Because I always said that I am an advocate for social justice and I believe in social change.
Mhm,
And the image that we have for us as Christians, the image of God that we have is Jesus Christ.
mhm,
And Christ came to fight for those who were oppressed.
mhm,
Okay? He
mhm,
came for those who were oppressed. And he came to bring justice to those that did not have access to
mhm,
food,
mhm,
access to good health, and
mhm,
access, because all the things that Jesus Christ was doing was
mhm,
towards social justice,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
But it's not the image that those who claim to be Christian brought to the new world.
mhm.
That's where I said in the beginning, there is a confusion of those who claim to be Christian, who brought Christianity to many of us, which I always said that we are very lucky that Jesus revealed himself to us. Because those of us who follow the word of Jesus Christ by fighting for social justice, that has to be a revelation. Right? That has to be a revelation. Because the teaching of Jesus Christ that they are giving us was slavery. No? So the people that were slaves had to go to church, but they didn't have to read, they could not read the Bible. They had used certain verses in the Bible to oppress those people. So when you bring the God of justice, which is my God, and we're talking about Christianity right now, which is the teaching of Jesus Christ, we can say there has been confusion in what we have received. Because the God that we are talking about would not come and to kill the Vaudouism. Do you agree with me or not?
To explore a different aspect of this topic, which has to do with some of your specialties. As a person who's trained in law, you understand how public policies work, not only in the United States, but also in Haiti. And also there's an international dimension of your work. Um, you know, people would sometimes talk about the conflict religious values might bring to secular laws and policies. In other words, there's a gap. There's a different contrast between what public policies and secular laws are commended us, the things they they impress upon us as citizens, and what certain religious values are prompting us to do. You see, for example, because this is an important topic, and I want us to think about this carefully. For example, some Christians in the United States have argued for years, uh, especially in the 1960s, that the Bible should be taught, or creationism should be taught in public schools. Okay.